Oh my God, I'm so sorry, but my phone died. Can I use yours to make a quick call? Absolutely not. Why not? Because if anyone else sees my camera roll, I'm going to jail. I keep tit pics the way a serial killer keeps IDs. Sorry, can't risk it. What can I get you? Drunk? Welcome to episode 41 of Behind Bars, Cocked Tales, and Wasted Nights. I'm your host, Greg. I've been working as a bartender for over 20 years, and over those years, I've seen a lot. My goal here is to share some of those high and low lights with you. Quick warning, this podcast contains sex, drugs, and some language that isn't suitable for anyone under 21 years of age, so you gotta have some ID. Before we get started, you'll need a drink. Since I interviewed Yager, we're going to do his favorite cocktail, the Negroni. The origin story of the Negroni goes like this. Circa 1919, in a bar in Florence, Pascal Olivier Count de Negroni asked his bartender to strengthen his Americano by replacing the soda water with gin, and boom, Negroni. Some recipes call for an ounce and over, but if you don't want to spill the shit by overfilling, here's what I do. Fill a pint glass with ice. Add 3/4 of an ounce of your favorite gin, 3/4 of an ounce of Campari, and you guessed it, 3/4 of an ounce of Carpano Antica, the best of the sweet vermouths. Stir and strain over fresh cubes in a rocks glass, and outside of Italy, garnish with an expressed orange peel. Personally, I just throw an orange slice on that sucker. Ciao! And as always, if you don't have any of that shit lying around, I strongly recommend a shot of tequila and a white caterpillar up your face hole. Okay, let's hang with Yager. All right, folks, welcome to episode 41 of Behind Bars, Cocktails, and Wasted Nights. I am here with bartender extraordinaire, Yager. What's up, Yager?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for coming out to the studio tonight at 2 in the morning.
I've been waiting a while to be in here.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
I'm actually honored.
Oh, wow, dude. I'm honored.
Yeah.
I'm psyched that you came here. It's like, so everybody knows it's almost 3 a.m. My neighbors hate me. But that's when you get Yager. You take him when you can get him.
Oh, yeah.
He's worth it. Yager and I work together at Avanti, but he's got a long history in the bar biz. Before he was in Denver, you worked in Austin?
I worked in Austin for 11 years. Yeah, worked my way up from Barback all the way to the clubs on 6th Street, North Austin, and then Rainy Street, actually, yeah.
And then you were in the Virgin Islands, too, right?
Yeah, I went to the Virgin Islands for about a year. Actually, a little over a year, yeah.
What kind of place were you working there? Like,
I was working at a sports bar, the only sports bar on the island. It was like a burger bar, too, so we just pretty much got hammered and served burgers.
What was the clientele like there?
Clientele was anywhere from like kids with their families coming off the cruise ships to captains of like fishing boats and charter boats. We had regulars and everything else that would come in like Monday, Tuesday kind of thing. It was an all around kind of crazy sports bar. And then Sundays we were mainly Patriots bar.
Yeah.
Which I had a problem with.
Oh, I love that.
I was the only Broncos fan on island, pretty much. So I was there when the Broncos won the Super Bowl 50, and we won the AFC Championship game, and I was the only guy in the entire bar rooting for the Broncos, which was kind of I don't know if you call it
an upset.
Yeah, it was an upset, but I made a lot of money off of that game.
Nice, dude, nice. Do you know Chuck Norris went to the U.S. Virgin Islands, and when he came back, they were just the U.S. Islands? Sorry, dumb joke. I remember working in Aspen, speaking of like, you know, being a fan of like the Patriots, or so in this case it was it was the Patriots, and we were playing the Broncos, and I'm in Aspen, and there's all these Bronco fans giving me shit because you guys are clobbering us.
Oh,
right?
man.
And I'm like,
goes both ways.
And I'm like serving. I'm like, I'm serving you. Like, don't give me shit. Don't shit on me and piss me off.
Yeah.
And then like, I'm like, hey, there's nothing worse than trailing or leading the Patriots at halftime because they're going to make adjustments. You're going to keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, man, there's always an excuse.
Yeah, then they ended up winning. Patriots won. And I was like walking around with my hands in the victory formation.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Closing out tabs, dude, not getting tipped. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
So when you're in the Virgin Islands, not getting tipped at all. You're in the Virgin Islands. You're in Austin. What would you say was like a little more like lit? Was it the
I would
town?
say Austin, yeah, because you have more people in like a smaller area. You know this about like Aspen. Aspen's like pretty much an island. You know,
It's a bubble for sure.
It's like it's an oasis in the mountains, but you know that's an island. It's the same difference. Everybody knows your business and everything else, so people tend to be more respectful of local mentality and all that, I guess. Austin, not so much. It's like more college town than anything. So you'd have all the college kids going out just disrespecting everything around them.
Is that why?
And just crazier stuff went on. Like more cop involved. You know,
really, the police?
I don't know, but you could say about the locals on island. Sometimes you'd have the occasional machete come out or something like that.
Oh my God.
So it was more violent, I guess,
Oh my God.
in that aspect. Than Austin, because you could call the cops and the cops actually came. You know,
if you don't have your machete on you, it's not.
yeah. You're like, oh, so and so's in the street again with their machete, and there's kids like having dinner across the street from what's going on. Yeah. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, the cops there would they'd be like, they just slap them on the wrist and act like they're taking them to jail, but they're really just taking them home, and they're like, oh, not this again, kind of thing.
Yeah, this is
like
do
a
I have
slap
to
on the
confiscate
wrist.
this machete. I have 47 machetes.
Yeah, it's so much more corrupt than. Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Bribes and all that stuff.
Oh,
going on.
yeah.
So, give me an example of like some craziness in Austin. Like,
oh man, I used to work at this bar in North Austin when I first moved there. I was working in North Austin and on 6th Street at the same time. Dirty Six is what they call it now, but I was bar backing on Dirty Six at night on the weekends. But I was bartending during the day, and through the night till like 10 o'clock at this other bar. So I'd go from one bar to the next.
oh my God.
This bar in North Austin that I went to was, you think you're in the burbs kind of thing up in North. You're in. You know, there's like Chili's, there's like Tilted Kilt, Hooters, like everywhere.
Dude, I went to the Tilted Kilt once here, and the girl had like a rash on her stomach. It just wasn't what I wanted it to be.
Man, we had a place called Bikinis up north too. That they just wear bikinis, and that.
Oh, nice. Went all the way overboard on being like creative for that. Man.
Well, yeah, I would joke around because they'd have like the. I'd call it the circle of North Austin. It would be like they'd start off at Hooters. Then they'd go to Tilted Kilt, and then they'd be like a bartender at one of the bars, probably one of the bar I worked at, and then go to either one of the two strip clubs after that, and then I don't even know what happened after that. But yeah, we joke around about the circle of life up in North Austin.
Just like they get progressively more nude.
Yeah.
North, the further north you go.
No disrespect, but they're making their money, you know.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I would do it. I'm coming back as a hot chick in my next life, and I'm not gonna wear clothes.
But the bar that I worked at was like central North Austin, where everyone would come at night. We were open till 2. We were service industry at the same time as all the riffraff. Every type of person would come in there, so you'd have fights all the time, like people not agreeing with each other, obviously, and a lot of drug deals. Like it was the center of drugs up in North Austin for sure. Before they came, this is like 12 years ago, something like that. Before they had all the huge bars up north, but I would be in the middle of all that because.
Middle of the drugs or the fights?
Both. Yeah, I'd have to jump over the bar.
Oh my God.
Quite often.
You didn't have security?
Well, I was on probably drinking Rumple Mints all night, but you know, we had security. Yeah, and I'm still like really good friends with one of the guys I used to be my head security guy. Actually, he works on Rainy Street now. So I made a lot of good friends up there, but. Because I think it's because we went through the gamut of North Austin back in the day. But it was a fun bar, but at the same time, it really taught me a lot about the industry, I guess.
About the industry and humanity.
And humanity as a whole. Like I would cut people off, and like I think I had they bragged that they were running drugs through the bar or whatever. One night I kicked one of them out for I probably like cut him off, and he got too pissed off that he couldn't have any more Jaeger bombs or something like that. But
Jesus.
he drove around the building for 4 hours.
What, waiting for you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I just got on my computer and started playing online poker for 4 hours.
Just let him.
Yeah, I was on like
get more gas. Come back.
Poker Stars. I'm texting my girlfriend at the time. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit longer, you know. Like I couldn't tell her like,
yeah,
these guys are like coming after me, you know, because it would freak her out.
You know, if he would leave earlier, he wouldn't be rushing.
I mean, yeah, this bar clean's taking forever, kind of thing.
Yeah. Is that where you developed your Australian accent?
Oh no, that was later on. That was on Rainy Street when I started working down there. Me and my buddy, we would go. This is like probably 5 years into this other bar, or after I first started working in Austin. We came up with Aussie Hour every Saturday night.
Aussie Hour?
Yeah, it was Aussie Hour. It's so stupid, like, looking back on it, but it kind of, like, worked out for tip-wise, because it's like we just realized that our bar was turning into a tourist bar, you know? And we're like, well, we gotta make it fun and kind of fuck with people, you know?
You're not going to see him again?
Yeah. But we ended up seeing most of these people again, which is pretty funny because at 1 o'clock they're
first explain Aussie Hour, then explain how it got fucked up.
All right, yeah. Okay, Aussie Hour was right at 1 o'clock when everybody's just like, you know, brown out, whatever. Me and my buddy, he had a whole, like, I didn't even know he had this backstory. One night where I had the whole thing, like the specials and everything. Everybody asked us what specials we had. We didn't have any specials, but I just, you know, named, especially at 1 o'clock on a fucking Saturday. No bar has specials.
No, everything I make
it's
is
just
special
like,
right now.
$7 per light. You know, we got meal light. $6 or $7 for your well. Our wells are $6 or $7. It depends on how hot you are.
And then they would see you later doing your regular American accent, like outsiders.
So it'd be like $2 per light, $6 for wells. We got $8 goose. If you want goose and soda, it's $2 extra. If you want Red Bull, that's going to be another $5. And they would totally believe that we were from Australia. And one time this guy's card declined, and I did not have... I don't know how I came up with it, but I had this entire conversation with this dude for about 10 minutes. This really drunk guy. He didn't understand what the hell I was saying because I was just like, I was talking in the accent. I go, "Oi, mate, your card, it's not going through." And he goes, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, mate, your card, it declined."
It declined.
It declined.
Rise of blades.
Yeah, rise of blades. Shit. And he goes, I had to break out of it. I'm like, dude, your card, it's not working, man. And then
he didn't understand. He should have just spoken in a regular.
Yeah. Oh, and he's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I got this other card.
He didn't
even acknowledge that I was like talking. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I had this one lady come up and she's like, "Oh, it's so great! It's so great that we have some Aussies in Austin." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking great, right? I'm here with my roommate. We're here on a holiday. We just came from just south of Great Barrier Reef. We just thought Austin was an awesome place, you know." My buddy came in the back. He's like, he came up with that whole story, and I just recited it after. So it'd be this whole thing every Saturday, and then people started catching on. They're like, this guy came up to me and called me out. He's like, I swear to God, your accent was different last week. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. He's like, yeah, wasn't there an Australian bartender here last week? And I'm like, oh yeah, they came through, but they're gone now.
Was he like, did you have your glasses on like you were Clark Kent? He
Yeah,
didn't know.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
he couldn't identify you from.
yeah. I think I had a different hat on or something. I'm like,
That's
that might have been
hilarious.
the other guy. He had hair though, and I took my hat off, and I don't have hair. So
You must be talking about a hat guy.
yeah, the guy with the hat, right?
That's hilarious, dude. Also, people need to know that you've been bartending as long as I have.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, when I first met you,